the Honourable Madam Speaker, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Ministers, Honourable Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen. Madam Speaker, I rise to respond to His Excellency the President's most gracious speech at the opening of the 2016 session of Parliament. His Excellency's address has highlighted the progress we have made as a nation and the positive changes in place for future development. Madam Speaker, in the week following the opening of this session of Parliament, the 71st session of the United Nations General Assembly convened in New York under the presidency of a Fijian diplomat, the first for a Pacific Island country. And this has shown the world that we have put behind us the racist politics of the past, and even though we are a small island developing nation, we are a nation of resilient and talented people, determined to forge ahead with our own vision for our country despite various hurdles in our path. And as our Rugby Sevens team's gold medal performance at the Rio Olympics has demonstrated, despite the limited resources we have, we are able to conquer even the better resourced nations. If we are united and play as one team and all work together towards one goal, Rio-numbered crunches have said that we punch well above our weight as a nation. And on a GDP basis medal count, we are even ahead of the United States of America, Great Britain, Russia, and Australia, to name but a few countries. Madam Speaker, change is always a welcome opportunity for new beginnings. And I stand here today as Minister for Defence and National Security. And I'd like to thank the Honourable Prime Minister for entrusting me with this new, very important portfolio. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to sincerely acknowledge and pay tribute to the tremendous contribution of my predecessor and former Minister, the Honourable Timothy Natuba, his contribution to government and the ministry during his tenure. His impeccable service during his military career and politics is commendable. And I thank him and wish him every success in his future endeavours. Madam Speaker, while I admit that this ministerial assignment is a new focus for me over many years in government, I am confident that the experience from my previous portfolios will enable me to enhance and make progress in the area of defence diplomacy. Madam Speaker, in taking up new assignment, I pledge to work with my fellow honourable members of Parliament. One, to make our communities safer for women and children, to live lives of dignity without fear of gender-based violence, child neglect, and child physical and sexual abuse. Two, to make our communities safer for home and business owners. Three, to build the capacity of our authorities through appropriate training and acquisition of equipment. And four, to strengthen our borders against human and drug traffickers, people smugglers, money launderers, and terrorists. Madam Speaker, as you know, our Prime Minister was at the opening of the 71st session of the United Nations General Assembly, and as the world watched our Prime Minister on television deliver the national address at the podium in the United Nations General Assembly, I could not help but feel such an immense sense of pride to see the United Nations General Assembly President's chair taken by a fellow Fijian. Madam Speaker, may I at this juncture deviate to explain why our presidency of the United Nations 71st General Assembly holds special significance for my ministry. It is well documented that the election for the presidency was a closely contested one between our candidate and the candidate from Cyprus. One outstanding factor about our Fijian candidacy that resounded loudly across all the geographical voting blocks within the hallowed halls of the United Nations is the excellent peacekeeping record of our Fijian disciplined forces. And before I speak more about my portfolio, I want to acknowledge the support of the government and defence forces from Australia, China, France, India, Indonesia, New Zealand, United States of America, and all other countries, organizations, and individuals who tirelessly assisted our nation following the aftermath of Tropical Cyclone Winston in February this year. Madam Speaker, the national security landscape, and indeed the global security environment, is dynamic and has become unpredictable at best, as criminal elements use vast technological advances for their evil intents and purposes. With this landscape as a backdrop, my ministry is up for the challenge of implementing the necessary reforms to make it relevant in the 21st century by evaluating its role against the present security landscape nationally, regionally, and internationally. As part of the reforms, we will review our services to our internal customers, being the Fiji Police Force and the Republic of Fiji Military Forces. I will also ensure that we serve them better to enable these agencies to deliver more effectively and efficiently on their core mandate. Madam Speaker, the Fiji Police is being challenged with the task of tackling new and multifaceted crimes that transcend national borders and invade the privacy spheres through social media. And this calls for an adequately resourced police force, particularly in the area of information technology. In addition, my immediate priority is to work with relevant stakeholders to propose a review of certain legislations to enable the Fiji Police Force to mitigate against the evolving security challenges. Madam Speaker, the Fiji Police Force cannot secure our neighborhoods on its own. It is the responsibility of every citizen to play their roles in keeping our communities safe. And it is my plea to individuals, business owners, and all stakeholders to support the Fiji Police Force's Dua Mata campaign. Among other initiatives, the Ministry has recently consulted with other relevant ministries and stakeholders to ascertain the availability of substitute crops for marijuana and how to reduce the prevalence of rape and sexual crimes. Madam Speaker, the Ministry, through the police and the RFMF, are approaching schools and tertiary institutions to engage youths in the discussions around Fiji's security sector reform processes. The RFMF cadetship programs in schools must be supported as they instill in the students discipline, responsible citizenry, and leadership. And Madam Speaker, I would like to extend an invitation to religious and faith-based committees and organizations, community leaders, business and NGOs to work with my ministry in building a safer, secure, and prosperous Fiji. Madam Speaker, in closing, I wish to pay tribute, acknowledge the efforts of our peacekeepers from the disciplined forces, the RFMF, the Fiji Police, and the Fiji Correction Service deployed overseas, and I concur with His Excellency in recognizing the commitment of these gallant men and women who continue to serve with loyalty and diligence. The impeccable service only increases our footprint on the global stage as a reputable, responsible member state of the United Nations. I would also like to thank their families for their great support and sacrifice. I wish to conclude, Madam Speaker, in reiterating His Excellency's call to do all we can to harness the spirit of our Olympic victory. We need to leave aside petty squabbles, rivalries, divisions, and grandstanding for personal and political gain. We must use this Parliament as a force to propel us forward to even greater heights than we saw at Rio. That path must begin here in this Parliament, where we must show we are truly real role models to the public that we serve in our quest to make our great nation greater. Madam Speaker, unfortunately the member Honourable Sir Mesa Karawaki is not in the House. I'd like to just say a few things regarding what he said. You know, when he was speaking, Madam Speaker, I was reminded of one song, not the Mississippi song that the Minister of Fisheries had mentioned earlier on. And I was interjecting when he was speaking. The song is Dream On. Dream On. And I was interjecting in Fijian. Tanranga, Tanranga. I don't have the lyrics, Madam Speaker, but I know that this song was written by Steve Tyler. The very last, I think the last line. It says, dream on, I don't. Dream on, maybe tomorrow the Lord will take you away. Maybe the Lord will take you away. I was just thinking when the honourable member was, honourable Leonard member, the honourable Leonard member was speaking, that he was in the dreamland. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, honourable members, for your attention.